The last generation of Abu Garcia Veritas rods, I would have to say, is arguably the most iconic Veritas series that has ever came out. The white with the red just gave this great contrast that just made it instantly recognizable, and its affordability has put it in the hands of several anglers, both weekend and tournament anglers alike. I gotta say that the Veritas rod series was the first rod series where I felt that you could, for the most part, put together an entire arsenal of rods to accommodate you in any fishing situation. And to this day, many people are in love with these awesome rods. But what if I told you they just got better? Introducing the new Veritas series of rods. Now, I might be a little partial or biased, if you will, to the new design of these Veritas rods. As you guys have seen with my logo and my branding, black and white is just my colors. I love that color scheme. I have always loved that color scheme. And it's like they designed these rods with me in mind, especially considering that my favorite rod series would be the Veritas. Now, I do have some of the higher end Veritas tournament series for some of the techniques I use more often, but for this video we're going to be comparing the last gen versus the current gen that was just released. Now, if last year at ICAST they showed this rod scheme, and for the longest time, since ICAST all the way up to fairly recently, the only place that you could get the new Veritas series rod was from Tackle Warehouse, as they had an exclusive deal for the release. But now that we're in 2025, you can pretty much purchase these rods anywhere, including the Abu Garcia and Pure Fishing online stores. At no way am I poking at the original or the prior generation of Veritas rods. After all, it was this series of Veritas rods that made me fall in love with Abu Garcia. And honestly, the main factor, it was, believe it or not, it was actually the spinning rods that made me fall in love with the series, for just the fact that the rod seat and grip hardware is very minimal, and it's just the right size for my hand. And honestly, the tension, or this grip up front, the EVA grip up front, that small grip just allowed me to feel like I had a lot of control when actuating this rod, and I didn't feel like I was grabbing up on the actual rod. It's a very comfortable grip, and that's really what led me to the Veritas series. I've absolutely always loved that about this rod series in the spinning setup. Shortly after discovering that, I picked myself up a 7-foot heavy, pretty much all-purpose rod that has an extra fast tip that I could use for frogging, because I didn't have a frogging rod. But I love fishing heavy jigs, and matching it with 65-pound braid kind of made it a jack of all trades when it came to my heavy lifting. That short 7-foot allowed me to work the frog. And the one thing that I can always say that has been so great about the Veritas series rods is there's a rod in the series for just about anybody. And it was hard to imagine that they could expand upon this rod any further. As I said before, they have this series in the winch series, where it's a moderate fast action, more for like cranking, jerk baits. They just had a rod that could fit just about any situation for the most part. And if you really wanted to dial in and get specific, they had the Pro Series rods that had the more technique specific. But that was one thing I loved about this rod series, because not only is it affordable, I mean, these range from $99 to about $167, depending if you get like the 7-Eleven heavy flipping stick, that's $167, or if you get a 7-foot medium for like a soft plastic jerkbait rod or something like that, you're looking more at $120 or $99. And it is just so great for Abu Garcia to make a rod series that has been affordable for anyone to pick one up. And this particular setup, you can get under $250, and that's not even on sale. Now, they do have the Veritas combos at the $300 mark with the Zeta reels on it. I just have always preferred the Revo line. However, there is definitely some things about this rod series that I did not like. And the main thing being is the white EVA foam grips. As you can see, I use this rod a lot, and these were like pearl white, like pretty much as white as your reel seat here. It's that white, and look at them now. It is nasty. And that is one thing, you know, it is easily washable. However, like, I don't have time to wash down all the grips on all my rods every time I go fishing, because I go fishing, you know, pretty consistently. So, but that was definitely one thing that I did not like about this rod series. However, I can't say that going with a different color would have made these better. You know, if it was red to match the red and white vibe, you know, I honestly probably would have been like, that's too much. You know, if it was black, it wouldn't really go with the rod. So it's an interesting aesthetic problem to have. And I don't think they made the wrong choice going with the white. It's just, for me, you know, some people don't mind it, but for me, I kind of mind it. So that is definitely really the only negative thing I have to say about this rod series is just the white EVA foam grips. You know, I would have preferred a cork grip over a white EVA foam grip. You know, just something, you know, that's not going to show so much stain, if you know what I mean. But that is why I gotta say, there's a couple things that improved with the new Veritas rod series, and I am absolutely in love with it. In fact, this rod series is actually going to be what I primarily use in the 2025 bass fishing season. I'm slowly replacing all of my rods to be Veritas, or, you know, I will have a couple Pro Series mixed in there, as well as some of the Veritas Tournament Series. But this is my choice for the primary rod series that I am going to be using this season. And there is so much on this rod series that I just feel like is a big improvement to where it was. I may be being biased, but the black and white color scheme, that's just my branding. And like I said, this cool transition that they do within the Veritas, you know, emblem or logo is just absolutely sick to me. And that's not even the only improvement I feel with this rod series. One thing about the bait casting series is I didn't like how bulky the EVA foam front was, or the retention nut was. And now they have replaced it with this nice carbon fiber retention nut that is a moderate size that allows you to get, you know, good sensitivity, as well as like not be so bulky it gets in your way. And then of course, I love that they went with a carbon fiber kind of feel to the back of the rod, which allows them to use with the black and white black EVA foam grips. Like I said, I have no problem with EVA foam grips. I think EVA foam is a great grip. Like, you know, I typically don't like the polymer or the wind grips. Cork grips, I'm impartial between cork and EVA foam. Honestly, I don't think you get more sensitivity with either or. And really, if it's a good quality EVA foam, I feel like even when it's wet, I still get good grip. So that's really one thing. Like I said, it's more just the color, how well it hides wear and tear. And I think the black does a great job of that, at least from afar. Maybe when you get up close, like you can see, like, you know, there's some white on there from, you know, my hands being dirty, but from afar, you can't tell. And I think they did an awesome job redesigning these rods. Now you still get a skeletonized, let me grab one without a reel here. And as you can see, like, I've been buying a bunch of these. But as you can see, they still have the skeletonized grip and reel seat to add that extra sensitivity. Now it is a Power Lux 100 that they claim makes it 5% or 15% stronger. 5%. It's either 15 or 5% stronger and more durable, as well as 15 or 5% more sensitive. Honestly, I have never had one of these rods break on me. If you have, leave it down in the comments. But I've had rods snap on me. Some are high-end rods, which typically with high-end rods, they do break a little easier, but they're a lot more sensitive. And I think this rod series does a great job at doing both. I will say that the tournament series and the pro series is made with the 200 power lux, which adds a little bit more sensitivity, but doesn't sacrifice so much on the durability. Now, this rod in particular is actually part of their winch series for this rod, which gets me into the next benefit of this new series of rod. They have far more options in this rod series than they did in the previous generation of Veritas. And that is what makes this rod series the last rod series you will ever really need if you want to have all the same rods, rod series in a tournament, and you don't like mix and matching. Like me personally, I like everything to be pretty much the same. I don't like having like a bunch of different colored rods and all that. I like basic, simple stuff. And as I said, this rod series just kind of goes straight to my branding, and the fact that they have a rod pretty much for any job. Like I said, this one's part of the winch series, which gives you that more moderate action bend. So, like I said before, crankbaits, jerkbaits, treble hook, top waters, that's what this rod series is good for. And then, like I said, in the normal, you have all the fast action, extra fast action, for your more all-around rods. But I feel with them adding the bait finesse series within the Veritas rods, it really, like I said, it's the most expansive series of rods that are in an affordable price bracket, to where you can literally just buy these rods and cover every technique there is in bass fishing. It's really hard to see a company, when they already have such a successful product and they try to make an improvement on it. A lot of people felt that way when Abu Garcia changed the design of the popular Revo, and went more to this asymmetrical design that allowed it to be more comfortable in their opinion. But a lot of people were skeptical about that. That's one of the reasons I switched to Abu Garcia Revos. Is before I used loose reels, and like I said, there wasn't much reason for me to go to an Abu, but just that one design change made this a lot more comfortable in the hand. And like I said, to me, that's an improvement on already amazing product. And I truly believe that the new rod series, it fixed a lot of the problems that I personally had in this series. But I will not take away to how iconic this series has been in this generation. And the affordability is still there. If anything, it's more affordable because you guys that are into bait finesse know a lot of the bait finesse stuff is still super expensive. And the fact that they came out in their affordable rod series, a bait finesse rod, or a couple of different rods, not just one, to give you guys some options. To me, that's an amazing thing, because you're putting fishing in the hands of a bigger population. Because a lot of us do not have the money to go spend $400 on a reel and then $400 to $600 on a rod and having $1,000 combo. But or even the the Veritas combos being $300. I personally feel like that's a good price range for me to have something quality that's going to last a long time. But the Abu Garcia Revo 5 Gen, just the Revo X here, really the biggest difference between this reel and the SX, which I typically use, which is about $167, is this has magnetic braking, and then that has the SX and above have centrifugal braking, which I love centrifugal braking more. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with this reel. I think it's a great reel for the price, and it makes it affordable. And you can come in on this combo at 240 bucks. You know, if you go with a rod that's, you know, in that 99 bracket, you know, 220 bucks. You can pretty much build whatever rod you want for under $300, whether it's a flipping stick all the way down to, you know, a spin reel. And Abu Garcia, I really have to say that you did good on this series, but you absolutely killed it with the new series. I'm really excited for this year to be fishing with those. If you guys want to check these rods out, I will leave my affiliate link to Abu Garcia down in the description below. If you guys are interested in picking up, use that link. It does help the channel. I personally feel that Abu Garcia has taken a step in the right direction, and I really cannot wait to, you know, catch some fish on these. I've been fishing with this rod for a while to make my final determination whether I was going to spend more money on the Veritas Tournament Series or if I was going to just do some Pro Series rods. But I gotta say, putting the new Veritas Series rod in my hand, fishing with it, catching a couple fish on it, it's really impressed me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Now go catch a fish.